Welcome to the Thought Boss Podcast. This is your host, Nicole. I'm here to show you that all the help you need is already inside of you and that you're far more powerful than you give yourself credit for. I'm glad you're here. Now let's turn you into a Thought Boss. Season 2, Episode 2, Imposter Syndrome. So today it's so important that we talk about imposter syndrome because I feel like it's probably the number one thing that I talk about. And the thing is, it's not even like a medical thing. We call it imposter syndrome, but we just use this term very loosely anytime that we feel like we're not good enough. So my definition of imposter syndrome is maybe a little bit different than the Google definition, but I think imposter syndrome is when you get a false idea of who people think you are, and then you think that you're not that person, like that you're not good enough. So people, they love you and they praise you and they want to be like you and they compliment you. And maybe they're saying thank you for something that you've done for them. And your brain is going to say things like, oh, they can't possibly mean that. Or that's definitely not who I am. Like maybe I was able to help them a little bit, but your brain really won't even let you go there to this place of celebration. It'll just go to this place of like, ooh, like kind of cringing inside. Like I'm not really good enough to help them. Like, please don't say thank you to me. It feels terrible when people say thank you to you, only when you feel like you don't deserve to be thanked. And that's what I think imposter syndrome is. Your brain will also say something like, if they only knew what I'm struggling with, or if they only knew how imperfect I really am, then they wouldn't like me and they wouldn't trust me. And the truth is, that's not really true. People actually don't care what's going on in your personal life. They genuinely don't. In fact, they kind of want to know when you're struggling because then they feel like, oh, I can be somebody who achieves things and is successful and also struggles. So the reason it's a problem that your brain offers you all these really mean thoughts is because our brains are very black and white thinkers. It thinks that you have to be the absolute best in order to help somebody. It thinks that you have to be an expert and then an expert looks a certain way. So just for example, let's say that you help people find the right car for their family. Your brain will tell you somebody else could do it better because they've been doing it longer and they know more about cars. So you'll feel like an imposter because your brain made up this idea that you have to have X number of years of experience in order to be trustworthy or to be able to give anybody any kind of advice. But your brain just made that up. It's not true. There's no amount of time that's necessary to study something or to learn something or to be in an industry in order to call yourself an expert or to just help somebody. I really think we get this from the college system. In America, we feel like experts are people who have gone to school for like 10 years or 15 years or 20 years. And that those are the only people that you should trust. And that if they have gone to school for 20 years, then for sure they know what they're talking about. So we spend 10 years or 20 years in school, we get a degree, and then we think that we'll be able to call ourselves an expert. And we think that we're only allowed to help people if there are letters after our name or we have a piece of paper proving that we spent hundreds of thousands of dollars to be educated by a school in a certain area. Now, that may have been true when there wasn't access to knowledge like there is today. Colleges used to be the place that you went to learn because that was the only place that you could go to learn those things. Like you could have experience and stuff, but like scientific like research and any of like the latest data, anything that you were going to learn, you had to learn in college because we didn't have the internet. Like school was just the place that you went to get the knowledge. But the other thing is that I want to point out, there's only a limited amount or list of degrees that you can get. And there are a bajillion ways that you could help somebody. So you are actually an expert on your own life. You're already an expert right now. You're an expert on your own experiences. It does not take someone else instructing you for you to learn something. You can learn it all on your own. It's called being self-taught, or the school of hard knocks, or inspiration, or genius. Sometimes it's just the knowledge that your soul came here with. Sometimes you know things and you don't know how you know them, but you feel them deep in your soul. And those are actually the things that most people want to know. Most people don't even want the facts of things. They don't want to hear all of the things that you learned in school. You can find facts on Google. What most people need and want, especially today and on social media, is just for somebody to tell them that they're doing a good job. They want somebody on the outside of them to tell them that they're worthy of love, and that they're valuable, and that they're important, and they're beautiful, and they're capable, without having to change anything, without having to be somebody different, but just exactly as they are in this actual moment. And they want to hear it over and over again. They want connection, they want friendship, and they want to not feel alone. Those are the most valuable things to us today. It's not all the things that you can learn on Google or all the free information that's on the internet. If that was the key to our happiness, everybody would just be really happy already, right? Because we can all figure out how to get access to the internet. But the thing that we don't have access to, because of the way that our brains operate, is the knowledge that we're already enough. And that knowledge is the thing that actually makes us happy, and the thing that actually creates progress. So if there's something on your heart, that's because it's you who is supposed to share that thing. There are not too many people helping. There are not too many people who have your idea for how you want to help. And there is absolutely nobody who can be you and say things in the way that you need to say them. So I love this idea that came from Elizabeth Gilbert. She wrote the book Big Magic, and she has this idea in it that I just love. So she believes that ideas, ideas for inventions, ideas for books to write, ideas for causes to create, like any kind of idea for something to do or something to share or something to give. These ideas are just like these little kind of like bubbles of light that are kind of floating around the universe. And they bump into humans, and the human has an opportunity to bring that idea to life or not. And if that human chooses not to, that idea moves on to someone else that will bring it to life. And these are like very specific ideas, not just like we should help people feel happy. No, it's like we should write a story about a girl who feels this way, and then this happens to her, and then very specifically she has this kind of friend, and then this happens. Like very, very specific. Anytime that you're laying in bed and these ideas will come into your head, and at first you'll get really excited about them, and then you'll go start to do them, and then they feel like really overwhelming and you just don't do anything with them. Those are the ideas that I'm talking about. So, if the human that this idea bumped into chooses not to bring it to life, that idea is going to move on to someone else that will bring it to life, that will actually take all the action to bring it to life. Now, I believe that you are capable, and the ideas that have bumped into you, they believe that you're capable. They believe in you. I believe in you. They believe in you. The only thing that's missing is that you might not believe in you, especially when ideas bump into you that you feel like are way over your head or way over your capability. So I do not believe that ideas only bump into the very most capable, PhD, old and wise people. I do not believe that. I think they bump into people with no experience, ones who have no clue how to make something happen. And the people who bring those ideas to life are the ones who say, I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to start exactly where I am, not knowing anything, and I'm just going to figure it out as I go. I'm going to Google things. I'm going to ask people questions, and I'm just going to do it. It's the person who decides to do the thing that actually makes it happen, not the person who already knows how to make it happen. So imposter syndrome is just this false idea that your brain made up to, one, get you to not take action, and two, to not allow you to celebrate your successes. So one, the way that it gets you to not take action Here, this is just a little note, and it's something really important to know, and it will apply to everything else that we ever talk about. And I'm going to talk about it all the time because I'm a brain geek. I say the word brain so often in my practice that it's just normal now. So your brain is only wired for survival, okay? Service, gratitude, helping people, success, like that is not wired into your brain. None of that comes naturally to your survival brain. It just wants you to stay alive, and it will do and say anything to you to convince you not to do things that are hard and scary because it believes everything is dangerous. Some of the things it might think are dangerous, other people's opinions of you, other people's thoughts about you that you probably will never hear, other people seeing you, other people hearing you, other people just knowing that you exist seems really dangerous to your brain. Being imperfect, showing up messy and real and raw. It thinks all of those things are dangerous. So please listen carefully. This is so important. If you hear nothing else in this podcast, this is so important. The words in your head, the voice that narrates your life, that looks at everybody, that walks around the street, that says, oh, I forgot to do this. Oh, don't forget this. Oh, so-and-so, I wonder why they look like that today. All the little chatter that's going on in your head. It is under no obligation to tell you the truth. Just because you had a thought in your head, a sentence that went through your brain, just because it was there, it doesn't make it true. So you're allowed with your soul, like with the person who's watching all these thoughts happen, you're allowed to ignore it, to respond to it, to question it. Some of the questions you might ask are like, are you really sure? Is that really true? What if it's not true? What if the opposite is true? And you're also allowed to downright disagree with it. You could just be like, I don't even like that thought. I'm just not even going to listen to it. And you could just move on like it didn't even happen. So every moment you get to decide, do I listen to fear, which is normal and natural and it'll always be there. And that's the voice that's always in your head because it's looking for things that are dangerous. So do I listen to the fear that's always going to be there? Or could I listen to my soul today? Could I do things that feel dangerous and vulnerable, but are actually really helpful and good and changing people's lives because they're coming from love? Okay, the second thing is that your brain doesn't allow you to celebrate your successes, or imposter syndrome doesn't allow you to celebrate when you are successful. So I want to tell you something. Your successes are yours and only yours. You have done things. We just kind of forget about it. We forget that we've helped people, that we've hugged people, that people have appreciated our presence in their lives. Just say you're welcome. Anytime somebody says thank you, you just say you're welcome, or I'm so glad it helped, or thank you for the compliment. Allow yourself to believe in your own genius. Allow yourself to appreciate your own perspective and the powers of your own unique soul. And just decide right now that you could stop doubting that you do amazing things. You're doing them right now. The life you want is waiting for you and it's ready. It's wrapped up in a pretty box with a red bow. And as soon as you realize that you're already who you need to be, you get to open that gift. That is right now. That can be right now because you are already who you need to be today, right now, to feel grateful and to feel happy. Gratitude and confidence will make you more of who you are. They'll make you more successful because when you're confident, you actually do things. When you're grateful, you create more of the things that you're grateful for. So both gratitude and confidence are actually feelings that you could create right now. You don't have to wait for them to come to you. You don't have to decide that you have to be a certain way in order for you to feel confident. You could just give yourself permission to feel confident right now. So confidence and gratitude are created by your thoughts about yourself and your life and who you are. And just the same way that we can question those thoughts that are already there in your head, we can also place ones in there that we want to keep because your thoughts create feelings. And your feelings will determine how you're showing up as a person. So if you're feeling grateful and confident, you're going to actually show up in the world and you're going to give the world the gifts that it needs from you. So on that note, here are your daily affirmations. These are thoughts that you can think on purpose today. I am already exactly who I need to be. The world needs me as I am today. Showing up as myself allows others to feel okay about who they are. Perfection is not necessary. It is only important to love me exactly as I am. I am successful. I am making things happen. I bring light into the world just by existing. Imagine what happens when I say something good. Saying something messy today will help 100 times more than sitting on an idea for weeks until I get the language just right. I can be afraid and still show up. I have gifts and talents to share with the world. I can help someone right now. Hey, it's me, Nicole. If you want to get behind the scenes of the one and only Thought Boss, that's me, come and stalk me on Instagram. I'm at Thought Boss Coaching. Or if you're ready to finally ditch imposter syndrome and anxiety and start changing the world like you know you were born to, your dreams are literally one phone call away. To sign up for a free consultation, just head to thoughtbosscoaching.com or find me on Instagram and send me a message.